Welcome to the spooky night of October 31st. It's actually November 1st. It's the morning time, and for you guys, it's going to be like November 16th or whatever. So never mind that bit. Hello, everybody. Hi, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another episode reaction to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is Haarute. My name is Matt. Hello. I say episode, but I suppose it's an episode of my video series, but we're not going to be watching a show today. We're going to be watching a movie. You're at the title. You know what this is. I'm watching the Buffy movie. You know, the movie that everyone says that it sucks. I want to watch that. So I'm excited, actually. I'm going to be 100% fully honest with all of you. I am more excited to watch this movie than I am to watch season 3 and any other season of the show. I just want to watch this movie. So for context, in case you're new to my channel, you might not know. Hello. I've been watching the first 2 seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I just finished season 2 a couple weeks ago, and I am getting ready to start season 3 next week. But I didn't know anything about the show, and when I first started, people started telling me like, well, a lot of the questions you might have are things that were kind of shown in the movie that came up before, and I was like, well, what is this movie you're all talking about? And people told me that apparently they tried to make a Buffy movie. I think it was in like 92, so it's a movie that came out years past, and apparently it was a terrible movie. Nobody liked it and didn't do well, and nobody looks at it fondly, and now it has become this sort of like weird boogeyman of the Buffy fandom that everybody looks at like, oh, that weird shit that we had that one time, you know, like it exists and everybody knows about it, but nobody likes to tell people about it because it's not indicative of what the show is and what you're a fan of. Fuck that. I want to watch this movie like really badly, because another thing that you might not know about me, and I've said this multiple times, but since people told me that, I was like, okay, I want to watch this movie now. Like, everyone is telling me like, oh my god, don't watch that movie. That movie sucks. It's such a terrible, cringe-ass 90s American movie. And I'm like, oh, word? I want to watch that. Like, that sounds like the kind of shit that I'm into. So ever since season 1, ever since like people told me like, oh, there's this movie that exists that sucks, I'm like, okay, I am excited to watch this now. So since that time, I already like decided I was gonna do this video. I just never knew when, and someone told me like, you could do it after season 2. That's like a good point to do it in. So I kept that in my mind, and I was like, okay, maybe after season 2 is over, that sounds like a good point. I'm gonna take like a little break, and then I'm gonna watch the movie, and that's what I'm doing today. However, and just because I would feel bad otherwise, I did run a poll on my Patreon, patreon.com/Haarute, wink, and essentially, just because I felt really bad about just watching this movie that apparently sucks instead of starting season 3, which apparently everybody likes, and the results of the poll were that even though there are a couple people that just wanted to start season 3 right away and didn't watch the movie, the majority of people said watch the movie or gave a neutral vote and enable me to watch the movie. So hey, if you're one of those people that are upset that I'm doing this instead of starting season 3 this week, then well, too bad. This is how democracy works. But at the same time, and this is a weird feeling I have, is the fact that like I get this feeling that like everybody in the Buffy fandom knows this movie. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they like it. Some people like it in the sense of like, oh my god, look at this piece of trash. Like, I actually did see a couple of people that were excited for me doing this because they were like, oh my god, I hate this movie, it's so good. And I'm like, okay, good, because like that's the place where I lurk, you know, like that's the right spot for me, is whenever I look at something and I'm like, oh my god, this is so trash, I kind of love it. That's me. That's what I want to see every time. And I feel like a lot of people didn't get that about me, even though I said it literally in episode 1 of Buffy, because Buffy gave me those vibes. And it's interesting because, okay, we're gonna do a lot of comparisons after I finish this movie, but something I thought about, that this is also part of the reason why I want to do this, not just because I love trash, but because I feel like this is like kind of like a weird ritual of passage for the Buffy fandom, you know? Like, if you really want to be part of the Buffy gang, you gotta watch the terrible movie, you know? You gotta know where all of this comes from. Even though it sucks and it's not really fully canon, you gotta know what it is. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I want to be a part of that. I want to know what this is. So, like, I want to be in the loop. Like, whenever people mention this shit, I want to know what we're talking about. So, the Buffy movie it is. Also because we just finished season 2 and it gave us a lot of like little hints as to what might have been for the beginning of the Buffy storyline, which we don't really get in the show. And even though I know this movie is only pseudo-canon, like not fully canon, I'm gonna take literally everything this movie says with a grain of salt, but still, like, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, anyway, short version is I'm watching this trash movie, and next week I'm gonna be starting season 3. So there you go. Alright, that is enough preamble. I think we may begin with the movie. Check out the Patreon, link in the description below. Up on screen, you can watch the full-length version of this movie and all of Buffy. I'm gonna be trying something new here. I'm not sure if this is gonna work out, but I'm gonna try to be doing like a Dropbox kind of thing where you can watch the entirety of the movie alongside me without needing the footage yourself. Wink. We'll see how this works out. I'm gonna try. So yeah, let us begin. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 1992. Let's go.
Since the dawn of man, the vampires have walked among us.
I immediately love this. Buffy the Vampire Slayer didn't have enough money to hire someone to design a logo for us. They clearly went for a very heavy contrast between this like mythical gothic shit immediately into this cheerleading dance number with pink font and everything. Yeah, Pigman is into it. This scene lasts a long time. This movie's interesting because I feel like they are probably going to introduce a lot of characters that I'm not going to care about. But it could be really cool if they show up in the show later, like randomly. Oh my god, Jancy from my previous school shows up in season 4. Like some shit like that. Thank god that scene is gone. Southern California. The Light Asians. White Girls, the movie. Ooh. Oh hey, you look like a plot man. Oh my god, that zoom-in is really good. I really like that zoom-in.
God, a chill wasn't. Like, we don't have rights to who. Yeah.
This is such a like a weird parody of reality.
Slam dunk. Later.
Oh my god, this kid. Literally everyone in this movie is like a caricature. It's kind of good. Sure? Oh boy. Is it a vampire? I would guess that in the movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we're gonna see a lot of vampires, contrary to the show. Is that fucking Satan? Like, look at this evil guy.
That's everything.
Oh my god, this is Buffy's family.
Kiss noise.
It works for me. They want to leave you alone in the house, all helpless and vulnerable.
8 minutes in, it's already been uncomfortable twice. What was that fade out? I don't even think that the sound faded out. It was just the visuals. Where are we now? When are we? Oh, I think that's the guy. I think that's the guy that looked like Satan.
Please, show me.
Yeah.
Slayer. My master, my own.
Oh, cool. Master Lothos. But who are you? I like this guy. He looks like Maximilian Dude. But like the fucked up crackhead version.
We need to come up with a theme. It has to be a socially conscious theme. What are the most immediate threats to the world environment right now?
Litter? Litter, yeah.
Forest fires? Bugs? Bugs, totally. Yeah, I hate bugs.
So it's been 11 minutes in. I feel like none of these characters have a personality yet. They're all caricatures.
What's your name?
Buffy.
Yeah, figures. I'm Pike.
Hmm.
This is Benny.
Pike
Warrior.
isn't a name, it's a fish.
Wait a minute. You're the guys from the movie.
Yeah.
We hate you guys. You hungry? I got something for you.
It's been 13 minutes? Okay, are you two gonna be the victims? You know, the victims we had in every episode, just like, oh, you don't matter, you're gonna die. I feel like I should have had some kind of like bingo game of like movie cliches. Is his hearing a cross? If that's the case, then vampires should be scared of him. Man, y'all fucked up. He has a cross in it. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, that guy's done. I'm guessing this guy's a watcher. My god, that's actually kind of hilarious. This man just walked in, saw a dude get killed, and he was like, okay. You go do that. I'm gonna take the other guy. Oh, he's there.
God!
This man could not be more creepy.
I'm saying that I've been searching everywhere for you, Buffy.
So many things this guy said are things that she should just be running away, right?
So you come with me now to the graveyard.
My trust fund's in the graveyard?
My name is Merrick, and you have been chosen, Buffy.
You want me to go to the graveyard with you because I'm the chosen one and there are vampires?
Yeah, that sums it up.
Yes. Did you ever dream that you were someone else, Buffy?
Everybody does.
A Magyar peasant girl, perhaps? An Indian princess? A slave?
There's this one where there were these knights, and I'm
A servant girl? A barmaid?
oh my god.
Oh my god, she believed everything immediately.
He's in my dreams sometimes, and I'm fighting him.
I feel like this entire conversation doesn't flow like a real conversation. She should have like run away like 5 minutes ago. And she keeps flip-flopping between... Yeah.
Because it is your birthright and I am a part of it.
She keeps flip-flopping between like, I don't trust you, man, you're creepy, to like, oh my god, how do you know that? And she keeps telling him everything. It's like, that's not how people talk. Like, I feel like they're just progressing the plot, but I don't feel these are real people.
Why did you never tell anyone about your dream?
It also doesn't help the fact that all these characters are
Tell
caricatures.
everybody I'm crazy. Beauty idea.
It's just dreams.
Wait a minute.
No, you won't have to do
Okay,
it.
so he did give her a cross. So that guy that died, he had a cross earring. How did that not work? Maybe he had two? Like, that sounds actually perfect. That sounds like anti-vampire tech. The way this sinister laughing, like, .em3 plays is really funny. Because that first victim, he was like, who's there behind me? And I'm like, I didn't hear anyone behind you. And it's because the audio mixing, like, it sounds like it's coming from, like, above. Do you tell her what to do? No, he's gonna do it, maybe.
Buffy!
Oh, there's more than one victim. I feel like he didn't tell her anything. Like where to strike and shit. Ooh. Okay, she got him. Behind you. Yeah. Cool. It was really funny when that guy came out of the ground. Because I could see him being pulled by the wires. It was really funny.
Pike! Man,
He's a vampire now.
come on, fight me a pike. Wait a minute, man. What's wrong with you?
Invite me in.
I'm fine. You want something? No?
He's literally floating. So vampires can fly in this
You're
canon.
floating. Come on, man. Get away from here. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
This is fucking hilarious. Shut up, man. You're floating. Get away from here. Like, everyone's so casual about everything. I kind of love it. None of these people talk like real people.
Around 10?
I knew this thing was slow. You pay a fortune for something. Honey, come on, we're gonna be late.
Oh my god. Her parents are just a bunch of idiots. What am I... Okay. Setting up the...
Sweetie.
I love this guy. This is my favorite character so far. Crackhead Maximilian, dude. By the way, I am not keeping track of any of these girls or any of these boys. I'm like, they all just blend together in my brain because none of them have personalities, so...
And you're on this big holy mission, but obviously somebody read their tea leaves wrong, because I'm not your girl.
You killed two vampires.
There is one thing. This. Bravo.
I don't want to be the chosen one.
That's not how
I
this
don't
works.
want to spend the rest of my life chasing after vampires. All I want to do is graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
Also, nothing of what she said is something he said. She's like having her entire like crisis on day one.
In a fresh grave, didn't you?
Yes, because I had to make you aware of the implications.
Wow. I had never hit anybody before.
Get used to it.
Really? Well, you did it perfectly.
I didn't even break a nail.
Oh. And she's practicing now. She's accepted it. Okay. Training montage. We went from I don't want to do this to training montage. There was no in between. I gotta say, I really like this watcher. I'm sad we don't have a guy like this in the show.
So when do I meet this guy, Lothos?
Approximately in 40 minutes, sure. This wouldn't be a Buffy show or Buffy related media if we didn't have issues with the principal.
It's drugs, isn't it? Hey, I know where you're coming from. Believe me, I've had my drug experiences.
Mr. Miyagi, this fly, please.
Yeah,
Wait,
I was at
is she gonna snipe it? Hey!
I started to freak out.
Did you even notice what was happening? I don't think he did.
In town. Place got way too hairy.
Where the hell am I gonna find a mechanic stupid enough to work for my kind of money?
You should think about leaving too, man.
Oh my god.
Sell this place. There's something going on around here. I don't know. Something real weird.
The fact that we've only seen this guy for like 3 scenes, and he was like, I'm drunk, and then like my friend is like floating outside my window, and also I am not reacting to it, and then it's like, I'm leaving town. This shit's weird. He hasn't expressed any emotion in any of his scenes, which is the funniest thing ever. Like, listen, man, like, I don't want to talk shit on any actors. Like, it's also partially the direction. It's like, there's like no energy to anything. And the way people talk is not the way real people talk. It doesn't feel like real conversations. It's like watching a fever dream.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hi. Why the tumble? Why the tumble? The tumble wasn't necessary. He was styming her.
Toaster caked him.
You felt sick, didn't you? You had cramps?
Nice conversationalist. Yeah, I felt them a little.
It was a natural reaction on the part of a slayer.
What?
A reaction to their unnaturalness. And you're going to be able to use that to track them.
What?
My secret weapon is PMS. It's just terrific. Thanks for telling me.
It's not a weapon. It's an alert system.
Well, aren't we kung fu? I don't see you out there killing any
What the
vampires.
No, I plan-
What did he just imply or say? Like, actually, what the fuck? I mean, this tracks, right? This tracks with my perception of Joss Whedon.
For 100 lives, and I shall continue to do so.
For 100 lives.
I'm born each time with the knowledge that my purpose is to prepare the
Is that
chosen
true?
for her battle.
Do you remember your past lives? Like, is the Watcher the same as the Slayer? But like, not without the fighting, just with the knowledge.
You just keep on living the same old life over and over?
Yeah, I
Yes.
want to know this.
Yes, until...
What, till there aren't any more vampires? Then what?
Oh, then maybe I'll go to heaven.
Maybe you'll just get a job.
Oh, a job. I would have been a wonderful bootmaker.
Oh, I like this conversation.
I have something that the other girls didn't have. My keen fashion sense.
Oh, vampires of the world, beware.
Eric, you made a joke.
Yeah, he's having fun.
Are you all right? Do you want to lie down? I know it hurts for the first time, but...
This is like the first semblance of a scene that sounds like a real scene from the show, which is actually kind of good. I like that scene. I also like Merrick as a character. I wish he was in a better media and not this. Oh, you can't see vampires in reflections.
Come on, baby. Just for the money, make me proud. Come on.
Does a car invite... Like, do you need to invite people inside a car? Is a car a house?
My car, dude.
Why are you after this guy specifically? I mean, there's no reason for them to do it. Oh, it's on top. This guy is great. Yeah, I figured. Oh my god. You had one job. Like, how did he not crash when there was a vampire in front of his window, but he finally did crash after he was out? Kill him a lot. Yeah, cool. Just good guitar as a weapon. Yeah. A guitar can be a stake. It's a piece of wood. Oh, she's here.
Hi.
She's gonna use the guitar parts. Yeah. Just a dirty red boy and a wealthy white girl.
God, vampires, unbelievable.
I can't tell if you're super sarcastic or not with anything that you see. Like, anything he says, that's no emotion to it.
3 weeks ago, all I could think about was... I didn't actually think about anything. Like babbling incoherently to a stranger man in your living room.
Are you calling me a man?
Wait.
If you want, to stay, you can stay in the guest room.
No. Stay right here. Make sure the sun comes up and everything.
What the fuck is this character? Who is this dude? Why is he like that? Okay, what is it? What is your story? Weird man?
The city of angels is ours for the taking.
The city of angels. Man.
A little snack.
Hey. Careful with the toxoplasmosis.
Oh, got to get some.
Whoa! Don't grab me, okay?
Absolutely. I see now the error of my mistake.
Hey, keep your hand off my thing.
Nice to feel needed. Let's move out! Yes!
None of the other girls ever gave me this much trouble.
And where are they now? Hello?
Dead. Dead. Like, don't be disrespectful.
Are you with me? Then get out there!
What is... What is that? What did he draw there? This coach is something else. But I prefer this coach to the previous coach that we had in season 2.
Take it, man.
This is played as a comedy, but it doesn't feel like a comedy. Yep.
He knows who I am!
That's true.
Hey, Eric, must be halftime.
What the fuck was that?
You want to get some real power between your legs?
Sure.
You're insane!
Sure. 1992. But like, why did she attack him? If she realized this guy's gonna tell everyone who I am, then why did she attack him so he could know? Did she not think about it until like it was too late? But then why attack him to begin with? Unless he was in a previous scene, which I forgot about. Like, sorry, this movie just starts to blend together after a while. Yeah, fuck that motorcycle. Yeah, sure, PMS vampire detector. Oh my god, that's like literally the worst thing I've ever heard about. That's so trash. Wait. Sure. There was no impact to anything.
We used to hang. My birthday party, you drank.
I'm a god.
This acting is magical. Oh, he's dead. Of course. You gotta have the dude save the girl, even though the girl is the main character. That's how we roll here. This is Hollywood, god damn it. Sure. Why did she flip there? Why did she flip there? Okay, we gotta have the girl land on top of the guy. We're in the middle of a fight here. I can't fucking believe she has a crim's like vampire detector. That's like, sorry, like every time I see her just holding herself, I'm just like, what the fuck? Okay, here's the final boss. We still have like, oh, we have like 20 minutes left actually, because I'm guessing there's gonna be like 10 minutes of credits.
Hello?
I like this scenery. There's some like spinning statues and shit. It looks very creepy. I like it.
She's not ready for you, Lothos.
It's too bad.
No! Not this one!
Ooh.
Lothos.
And we kill Merrick. Yep.
Ashes to ashes.
Dust to dust.
Look what I've done.
We're leaving. We're not eating? She's not ready.
Okay. I guess. Tragic mentor death.
You do everything wrong.
Sorry.
No.
Take it back.
No. Do it wrong.
Do it your own way.
Lothos is a show. When the music stops, The rest is...
Merrick? Listen, a lot's been going on, guys, okay? And I really wanted to talk to you guys about it.
They're not gonna listen. They're not gonna care.
A couple of weeks ago, I met this guy.
Oh my god, you're having an affair?
He's like old. He's 50.
Ew!
You notice people disappearing, turning up dead?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're so out of it. Jennifer says you've blown off cheerleading and now dance committee.
Excuse me for having something important to do.
And this isn't important? It happens to be the last dance of our last year.
Except for the semi-formal.
Oh, right. Oh, and the totally formal. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, and the senior prom.
Okay.
It's difficult to have like a dramatic scene when I'm supposed to care about people's feelings when 75% of the conversation is cartoon characters.
I'm going to the senior dance.
Okay.
Second word.
So I was thinking this movie has to end with the gym burning down, so.
I mean, here the world is under attack by legions of the undead. You're going to a mixer.
It's not a mixer. It's a senior dance. It's important. You wouldn't understand.
No.
I'm the chosen one, and I choose to be shopping.
Yeah, I should have known.
Why is this guy so involved?
All the same. I'm not disappointed, just angry.
Why does the guy care so much but at the same time show no emotion to anything? Oh, you came back. I forgot you were in this movie.
Slayer is unmasked. Let's finish it. We'll wait until Saturday. Why? Because I want to dance.
Okay. Theatrics. Oh my god. I kind of like these two. I kind of like how extra they are. Like, the best part about this movie is literally anyone who doesn't take themselves seriously. That's the best part about this movie. The fact that this dude cares so much when he literally shouldn't. Like, he's actually the hero of the story.
He's being Jeffrey.
If I say no, are you gonna hurt me?
No.
No.
Yeah, he's with someone else. Is it one of the friends?
What?
Yep. Oh, they're laughing at her too.
From who, or Jenny?
Yep.
It's not working out at all.
I mean, a little bit. We've literally been together in like 2 scenes, and none of them were long. The sad music. Here we go. Man, I can't wait for the vampires to crash in and turn into a fiesta. Oh my god, look at this bad boy.
Glad you came.
He might die at the end of this movie, by the way. I'm gonna say he's not going to. Continuity-wise, he should. He's not going to. Because this is fucking American asshole of a movie. Man, I can't wait for the vampires to show up so we can all just like start killing shit and burning down the building. Vampires? Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! I want everyone in this building to die. I want this to go nuts. It's not gonna happen, but I'm waiting for it. What is that noise?
Party time! You invited him.
What? Okay, that was very slow action. I love this Kung Fu movie action, where there's only one people at a time coming in. It's okay. And then you get your comeuppance immediately for being such a terrible person. That's how this works.
Oh, that was quick.
Run, Buffy, run!
This is hilarious. Hey, people are fighting. I kind of like this. Random people fighting, random people stabbing vampires and shit, getting a dose of reality.
But you're obviously having a bad hair day.
His hair looks awesome. Has the DJ not realized at all what has been happening for the past 20 minutes? I'm just here to play some jams, man. Like, I don't care. I don't give a shit about what these people are doing. I'm just playing my music. The sound effects in this movie are really getting me. I don't know what the sound effect of like that plays when a vampire shows up is. Like, are they teleporting in or something? Die. There we go. All right.
Ooh, ah, ow. Ooh, ah, ah, ah.
There we go. That was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. That was so cringe. I loved it. Clearly it was supposed to be comedy, but it had no comedic direction or timing. It was just happening. It was so good. We have a vampire DJ. Okay.
Silence.
The music.
Stop.
Yep.
You and I are joined.
I can't fully tell what this guy's motivation is or how his power set works.
My keen fashion sense.
That's so stupid.
Detention.
What the fuck? This is amazing to me. Here we go. He has a katana? My man has a katana? Why? I don't see anything else Japanese in your person. Like, why a katana specifically?
I could never hurt you.
Okay, well that's good. It means I am immune to damage. She really can't travel any other way other than just flipping and dipping. Sure. California Girl versus Katana Man. It's doing this sound of metal clinging to each other, but that's clearly made of wood. That's a stake. Done. Kick it deeper. That was sort of an anticlimactic ending. I want him to just stand up again and be like, ah! Just do that for like a full minute. Okay, I thought he might be dead, but I guess it's not. Oh my god, this is all the people being like, Buffy's the best! She saved us all! She's really cool! This might be a final scene. Yeah. And then we get at the end of the movie like Thriller, Michael Jackson. You see that he has fangs and red eyes. Candy Clark as Buffy's mom. Why was that the first name that we see? Oh my god, okay. Fucking... That was a movie. I'm just gonna let the credits roll for a little bit. I don't know if there's gonna be an after credit since it's 1992. I'm guessing there might... Oh!
Siege, if you will. They had this look in their eyes. Totally cold. Animal.
Okay.
I think they were young Republicans.
What the fuck?
About safety. Except the dead ones, I mean.
I have to say, there's a lot of things about this movie that I like more than the show. Wait, what's happening? Yeah! Yeah! Keep going! I like to believe that he's still like squirming on the floor, slowly dying. Okay, that was the Buffy movie. God, there's a lot I want to say about it. Okay, so let me clarify something that I said right there at the end then when the credits were rolling. I said something that I feel like I need to clarify a lot because a lot of people probably heard that and they immediately did a spit take. They were just like, what the fuck? I said that actually a lot of things that this movie had were things that I think would be better than what we get in the show, actually. What I mean when I say that is that this movie is very good for one specific thing only, and it's as a comedy. This movie works as a comedy, but at the same time, it's not fully committing as a comedy because it's trying to have a lot of drama and like a weird coming of age story, which is okay. The Buffy show is what happens when you grab that and try to make a show around that and just dismiss the comedy aspect of it. I mean, the Buffy show does have little bits of comedy in it, but they are not so in your face that they ruin your experience. Or not the experience, but like whatever drama they're trying to push on you is not immediately being destroyed by the comedy. So this movie has a lot of issues regarding how to balance that out. but at the same time, it has some of the funniest shit I've seen, and it's really good. It's very enjoyable. Like, this is something that, like, there's a lot of people out there who, whenever they see a piece of media, they go like, oh my god, this is a wonderful, impeccable piece of media. I like the intrinsicies and the character dynamics and how this and the thematic level. And it's like, I try to do that sometimes, but like, realistically, whenever I watch this movie, I'm just like, man, that shit was funny, and I enjoyed it because of it. That's it. Like, that's it. That's the extent. And like, I feel like a lot of people are gonna see it and they're gonna be like, man, that movie sucks. Why would anyone like it? And I'm like, yeah, that movie sucks. I really like that. It was very enjoyable. The quality of something doesn't have to be great in order for you to enjoy it. Like, that's, I think people don't realize that. I feel like a lot of people think that something has to be a masterpiece in order to be able to be enjoyable. Because it's almost like you need people to like respect your opinion and how you can enjoy something. It's like, no, you can only enjoy good things. You can never enjoy bad things, because otherwise you, I don't know, like you lose credit in some way. Like, no, that movie sucked. I enjoyed it. I really like the bad guys. I don't know what the fuck their names were. Like, I immediately forgot. Like, Lothos and the other guy. The other guy that looked like Maximilian Dude but on crack. Like, that guy was really funny. I really liked that guy. He was very expressive. He looked crazy. He loses an arm. He spent half the movie without an arm. And when he dies, he has the best death scene ever, which is he dies and he's like, ah, and slowly falls down. And then he stands back up and he's like, ah, and he does that for like a minute. And then at the very end, at the end of the credits, they have a final scene where he continues to do that. That's good shit, man. That's the best. I love that. I love that so much. I want that character to come back. I want the character to come back in the show. I don't give a shit about anything else. That's the only thing I care about now. Another thing that I really like here is Merrick. I really like the character of Merrick, the Watcher here. But, like, he's not a comedy character. He's actually a very good dramatic character, and I really liked him. And I think it's the actor and the outfit and everything about the way he carried himself that was really fun to watch. So I really like that character as well. I would like to see another character like that in the show to be more common. But okay, this is the main thing about this movie that I feel like I think this is the worst part about this movie. And it's something that you notice more than anything for like the first half of it, I think. I don't know if I just got used to it or if it got better near the end, but for the first half of the movie, I feel like all the scenes were scenes where no people were real people. No one had a personality, and I understand that that's also part of the theme. Like, Buffy even says it in this movie. She's like, up until 3 weeks ago, I didn't think about anything. You know, she's like, oh my god, I was such an empty head ditz. I never put thought into anything. I just kind of followed the trends and just did that with my friends who weren't really my friends. We just don't think about anything. We don't worry about anything. We just do whatever. And then suddenly she's like, oh my god, I have to do all this crazy shit. And it's almost like that contrast is the idea. Like, that's the core idea that they were going for whenever they made this concept for a movie and then a show. Is the idea of having this girl who's struggling between upper middle class white chick who has had everything, she doesn't think about anything, she's a ditz, and suddenly she's the savior of the world. And what happens then? You know, like, that's the core idea. It's like, we have this and then this. What now? And then we elaborate from then on, you know? But the way this was written, like the first like half of it, like, listen, man, I don't ask for a lot, but like whenever people were talking to each other, I'm just like, that's not a natural response. That's not the way people talk. And also, a lot of characters, mostly the guy, Pike, this guy Pike, which is funny because there's another character in the show called Spike. Like, this guy Pike, like, I don't want to say anything about this actor because I'm not sure if the actor was at fault here, because he could have also been like the director, you know, be like whoever's telling you what to do. But like, man, I could never tell what he was feeling. Like, anytime he said anything, I was like, I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or not, because he's not expressing any emotion. He's just saying things, and I feel like half the comments he says are like a joke, Joss Whedon joke, but also sometimes he's being honest, but I can never tell the difference, because he, like, everything he says is just like, what are the emotions here? And he doesn't express any. Like, whenever his friend Benny, I think that was his name, whenever he came in and he was floating on his window, he looked at that and he didn't do like, oh my god, what's going on? He wasn't surprised. He was like, dude, you're floating outside my window. Get out of here. You know, like that. Just get out of here. And then the next scene you see him in, he's working at like as a mechanic, and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go away, man. Listen, you should go away too. Like that's it. Like there was nothing. It was just like in the entire movie was that. And like whenever there's like some kind of like conflict near the end, whenever Buffy's like, I just gonna go do the dance, man, and like he's like offended, like he says, I'm disappointed. It's like what would Merrick think? But like he doesn't say it with any emotion. The only time he has emotion is when he like yells for like one word, but it's also not like emotion. He just like raise his voice. Okay, that's a character. That's a character I don't need to see back, okay? I would like to see this Maximilian dude looking ass motherfucker guy back. Like, I like that guy. I like that guy and I like his hair. I'd like to see Merrick back. It's not gonna happen. And I also think they probably recasted him. Like, because in season 2, the guy that you see doesn't look like the guy we see here at all. So I'm guessing that's just a different guy. Also, I think they changed the way the Watcher works, because I feel like it is implied in that movie that the Watcher is just like one entity that gets reborn every time. I think that in the show there's just multiple Watchers. Like Buffy had a Watcher, and then he died, and now she has another Watcher, and I think Kendra had another Watcher. So I guess there's just multiple Watchers. I think there was like an order of Watchers or something. I think that's something they said at the beginning of the show. I don't remember, but sure. The point is there's some differences. Like for example, I was waiting near the end, like, are they gonna burn down the gym? They didn't. I remember someone told me like whenever I had questions about like the gym being burned down, someone told me like, oh, you gotta watch the movie in order to know that. And this entire time I was like, I want to know the answer, and the answer is there's no answer. The answer is just like there was a boss fight at the gym, and I guess in the Buffy show world that was burned down, but in this world it didn't. In this world it was completely different. But alrighty then, how do I feel towards this movie? I enjoyed it. I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound like sacrilegious, but like I enjoy this movie more than I like enjoy half the show, like so far. But like this is something I want to like. I feel like I've said this before. I probably did. I don't remember, but I'm gonna like. This is the perfect moment to talk about it, and it's the fact that like, hey, I can see how passionate people are about Buffy the Vampire Slayer as a franchise. I can tell that. People love this show. However, I've also seen a lot of people hate this movie, but they highly praise the show and love it so much. I can see how that would be the case. Okay, this is something I need people to realize. My only experience with Buffy the show is what you see on the channel up until season 2. That's it. What that means is that whatever emotional connection you have towards what happens in seasons 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7 are not there for me. So whenever I see people being passionate about the show, I feel like people are really, really into it because there's probably like one or two or several episodes that they like vividly remember, that they meant something to them, that they had a moment of like, oh shit, like I feel so much connection, or just not even a connection, but just like it's an episode that like hit you so hard that like it stuck with you. So, of course, this is going to be something you're going to carry with you for the rest of your life. And so that's why you care so much about the show. And I am betting that that is not a thing that happens too much for the first 2 seasons. That's something that happens later. Because I was also told that, like, people's favorite seasons are probably, like, 3 and 5. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, people probably, whenever they think about Buffy, they probably think about that. And, like, I'm going to give you an example here. This is something I can relate to. And, again, I'm going to mention JoJo, but I'm going to make it quick. So my favorite part of JoJo is JoJo Part 4. When I first read JoJo Part 4, I hated it. I didn't like it. It was too slow, nothing was happening, everything was stupid and goofy, and nothing made sense. After I finished it, when I started getting to the ending points, I started to like really enjoy some of the things that it was doing. But then the thing is that on a rewatch, like when I finally watched it again, I started to really get a lot of the things that it was doing, how it all came together at the end. And you can even say that there's something happened with Stardust Crusaders as well. But like, I can see this being a thing that happens to Buffy too. It's like, I didn't feel anything towards Part 4 of JoJo when I was watching it for the first, whatever, I mean, I read it first. But like, until the end, I didn't give a shit. And then when I saw it again, I was like, wait, I actually really like this. And now it's my favorite. I can see Buffy having something similar to that in the sense that, like, I just watched the first 2 seasons. They're not bad. I mean, season 1 a little bit. 2 is not bad, but it is not something crazy to the degree that people hype the show up for me. And I suppose that's something I can blame people on, not necessarily me. It's the fact that, like, I'm just here blindly watching a show, and then suddenly everyone comes into my door, kicks it down, and they start yelling at me, or like, this is the best thing that has ever happened in your life, and you're gonna be so into this shit. And I'm just sitting here like, all right, like, sure, it's gonna happen at some point, but I'm just taking my time here. I'm just enjoying my time and just chilling. Give it time. That's where this is going, right? This movie wasn't too different from the first 2 seasons of the show, especially 1. Here's the thing. The show focuses a lot more on characters, and that's what makes it actually good. Because this movie fails at everything that it tries to do, because it tries to be a weird comedy that is not directed or scored or edited as a comedy. It's just actors being weird, and it looks very cringe, and I personally like it a lot, but it's not good in terms of comedy. Like, it doesn't have anything comedic. Like, if a normal person saw this, they wouldn't actually laugh. They would just be like, oh, why are they doing that? But at the same time, half of the movie is drama with Buffy and this kid, Pike dude, and Merrick a little bit. I like one scene in this movie that was actually genuinely good, which was dramatic, which is when Buffy and Merrick are having a conversation, and she asks him, like, what is your life like? Or, like, if we ever defeat all vampires in the world, what would you want to be? And he's like, I could be a great shoemaker, you know? And then it's like, oh my God, you made a joke, Merrick. Like, maybe you want to lie down a little bit. I know your first thing can be really difficult. Like, that kind of shit, like, that's dialogue that you would see in the show. And it's good. I like that dialogue. I like that scene. I like the lines being shared. I like how everything flowed. Like, everything about that scene was really actually good. And that's like the one good scene. Everything else in that movie was not. Everything else in this movie felt very weird. And it felt very disjointed in how they keep jumping between shit that is comedy, but it's not telling you that it's comedy, and then drama, and it's not telling you that it's drama. So this entire time you're sitting here being like, what am I supposed to feel here? Like, what am I supposed to think? Because, like, whenever you present, like, essentially cartoon characters to me, I'm gonna assume that I'm not gonna take them fully seriously because they are cartoon characters. But then we have scenes like, for example, when Buffy goes to her friends and she's like, girls, I gotta tell you about something. It's like, well, first of all, I understand that she doesn't have any friends. She probably has no one because her parents are gone all the time. That's something they said. But I guess that she's trying to talk to other people, being like, oh my God, I need someone to talk to. So she goes to her quote unquote friends. But her friends aren't really her friends. They're just like people that she hangs out with. But it's okay. She doesn't really understand these things. Like, this is all new to her. Just forming human connections is not something she's used to. Okay. But we have this scene where she goes and tries to talk to them, and they also, the lines that she says, it's like, I met this guy, he's like a 50-year-old. It's like, it's specifically said in order to create miscommunication humor whenever she says something and they all think like, oh my gosh, he's fucking an old guy, you know? But also, they're trying to make it dramatic by making me feel for Buffy, being like, girls, I'm trying to be serious here, like, I feel really bad. And they're all just like laughing and saying cartoony shit. And it's just like, this movie doesn't know what it wants to do. Like, it's trying to have some fucking cartoon-ass fucking comedy scenes and some very dramatic scenes, and it's failing at both. Because it's trying to do both at the same time, and it doesn't work. That's something Buffy the show gets right. Buffy the show does give its dramatic scenes the attention and detail and scoring and acting and writing that they deserve. This movie doesn't do any of that. It doesn't. But, and this is a weird thing I'm gonna say, is that I've said this while I was watching the show. Half the episodes in the show are not important. They don't matter. It's just a villain of the week kind of thing. Like, there's so many episodes about the show that I watched so far, at least in seasons 1 and 2. I'm being told that kind of goes away later, like at least much more. That's a good thing. That's a good call. But whenever we get the villain of the week, monster of the week episodes that don't matter, I would like for those episodes to take themselves even less seriously. I would want for those episodes to be even trashier. Like this movie. I want every actor to walk on screen and not pretend to be a serious enemy, to just start goofing off and doing funny ass expressions and yells and sound effects and whatever. I want this shit to turn into classic Doctor Who. I want this shit to not take itself seriously at all. Because if you're gonna give me the fucking Go Fish episode, at least have the decency to make that episode fucking trash, so I can at least enjoy it. Because trash is enjoyable. And I will die on this hill. What I'm saying is that Buffy the show should have even less quality. Well, some episodes should. Some of the episodes are like the serious episodes, those should stay the way they are. I think they're doing a great job with those. But whenever we go to the Villain of the Week episodes, they should be more like this movie, man. I am making so many people upset, I feel like. Because I think this is just my impression of how I see things. Based entirely on my interactions with the fandom that I've been trying to avoid, honestly. But at this point, this is kind of how I see it. I feel like people, whenever they think of Buffy, they think of like, oh my god, my favorite episode that made me feel so many things from season 3, or my favorite episode that made me feel so many things from season 5, right? So that retroactively makes your experience and the way you feel about and how you see the show better. It does. Like, the same happens to me, the same happens to everybody. Like, once I hit the end of the show, I'm probably going to look back at season 1 and be like, oh man, I remember that. Things were so simple back then. And I'm going to have like this weird emotions of like, yeah, this was the beginning. Yeah, that's cool. I feel that way towards JoJo, towards Phantom Blood. The first 9 episodes of JoJo, a lot of people can tell you to skip them, but the reality is that I look back at them and I remember being in 2014 and reading the final page and being like, man, shit. And that was the very beginning, but I still feel the emotions of like, I remember the very beginning. That was so long ago. Like, so many things happened since then. Like, there's a legacy. And I feel like the people that care so much about the show have that. They feel that. And that's good. That's a very good thing. But I also feel that if you're going to do that towards the show, but then immediately dismiss the movie because it's like, oh, this movie's trash, it's not good. I'm like, I feel like this movie is not much different from season 1 of Buffy. I don't think it is. And from some episodes of season 2. Honestly, it's not much different. Like, most things about it are worse. But at the same time, this movie is enjoyable. To me, at least. Like, I guess the main takeaway here is that you shouldn't let me make Buffy. Because if I created Buffy, then Buffy would be way wackier. But I think this movie can be very enjoyable as like a campy, trashy movie. And honestly, I want that. I like that. But it fails miserably at making drama. But I think a lot of the fandom looks at this movie as like, oh, we don't talk about that. That one's not good. It's very campy. And I'm sitting here like, the entirety of Buffy season 1 is campy. Half of Buffy season 2 is campy. And I feel like a lot of scenes in Buffy season 1 and 2 could be improved by taking themselves even less seriously. Because I feel like the show takes itself too seriously sometimes. And I'm not talking about like the Passion episode. That's an episode that needs to be serious. That's very good. That's a very good tone. That's a fantastic thing to do. But whenever we talk about the fucking, I don't know, man. Let me fucking look at a list of episodes from season 2. Inca Mummy Girl. That's an episode that doesn't need to be serious. Reptile Boy. That's an episode that doesn't need to be serious. Ted. That is not a real episode. Bad Eggs. Surprise and Innocence. Those are good episodes. They need to be serious. Faces. A little bit. Bewitch, Bother, and Bewilder. Fuck that episode, man. That episode doesn't need to be serious at all. And a lot of them are not treated as such. But I think they need to be even campier. That's what I'm saying. So I guess what I'm trying to say here, like the specific final takeaway, is that this movie is not so bad compared to the first 2 seasons of the show. Like, if you talk shit about this movie, you have to talk shit about seasons 1 and half of season 2. Like, straight up. Like, that's how I feel. And I'm not saying you should talk about shit about the first 2 seasons. I'm saying that this movie's good. This movie is enjoyable. I will die on this hill. Mortal Kombat Annihilation is one of my favorite movies of all time. And that movie sucks. I feel like I'm making so many people upset. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not here to make you upset. But I am here to open your mind to the fact that this movie might not be so bad. That maybe your conception of this movie is being tainted by your passion towards the show. And I can see that. I can imagine that. But at the same time, you can watch something and just have fun, man. Just have fun. Like, this is, you don't have to equate this to the other thing that you really like. You can just watch this as this weird, campy spin-off that makes no sense. You know? That's the thing. That you can just do that. That's fine. Someone said, this movie really is a masterpiece. The dying scene is a regular reenactment of my life. Same. Alright, I can't wait to start season 3 of Buffy. And I don't want to, like, expect season 3 to immediately be, like, a jump in, like, everything quality, you know? Like, I feel like some people have told me that, actually. Like, season 3 is when you start feeling like, oh my god, this is actually getting really good. But, like, at the same time, I don't want to expect that. I don't want to set my expectations higher than they already have been set by the fandom. I don't like that. So I'm going to try to kick them down a little bit. But if the show does end up turning, like, really good, you start really feeling the quality jump in a lot of what it's doing, then I suppose this movie is going to be, like, a good send-off towards, like, the trash era of the show. And I feel like me saying that is going to make people upset. I'm doing it on purpose at this point. Because someone asked me the other day. Because I wanted to do like a Buffy cast. And I'm probably going to do it. When I'm just going to talk about my feelings on the first 2 seasons. And I asked people to send me some questions. And someone asked me like, do you still think the show is trashy? And I'm like, half of it, yes. Like half of it, yeah. Because like some episodes are really good and you can really feel the emotion and the drama and it feels good. And I feel for these characters because they spend time developing. But then you get the fucking Go Fish episode and it's like, yeah, like what the fuck am I watching? So the answer is yes to half of it. But the other thing that you need to realize is that trash can be really good. And in fact, I enjoyed this movie. So I wouldn't mind if the show became more like this movie moving forward. And it won't, because I think that's a good call. I think that's the best thing to do, actually. I'm not saying they should do it. I'm saying that I would enjoy it if they did. But the right call is to grab the drama and expand on that and make it good and it develop the characters. And that's fantastic. That's something we should go for. Instead of going for the trash comedy, which is something I like, but it's not something we should probably focus on. But like, again, like this movie is just failing miserably on a lot. Like the first half of it, again, like I just skimmed through it like for like a second. Like there was that scene where Merrick showed up for the first time in front of Buffy, and Buffy, instead of running the fuck away, which she should have, she keeps saying like, you're weird, and then like, I'm gonna go, and then wait, how do you know that? And it's like he doesn't say enough in order to keep her in the room. Like he just says like, you have had dreams, right? And she's like, how do you know I have dreams? It's like, no, like he keeps saying like things that are not so specific in order to like lure someone's attention, but she continues to keep being lured. And then he was like, we're gonna go to the graveyard, and she's like, sure. She goes to the graveyard, then she grabs a steak, and then she just sits there doing nothing for like, I don't know, like an hour? Like, this, why? Like, this is not how a normal teenager girl would act. The way she would act is be like, why are you talking to me? I'm just gonna go. Like, there's that scene where Mary just casually runs into Benny being taken and killed. And it's really funny too because he's just sitting and then Maximilian Dude shows up behind him and grabs him. He goes, ah, and then he like goes away. Almost like a fucking puppet show. He just like slides in and slides out. And then he sees Pike just being on the ground and he's like, goes, grabs the guy and just drives him away. And it's just like, he no shit's given. Any scene where Pike is in doesn't seem like a real scene where real people act. Every scene that features like Buffy's friends is just a bunch of cartoon characters that make no sense. We have a lot of cliches, you know, like mentor figure dying, giving a final advice that is going to come in at the time of need. Zero chemistry, straight romance with the Spike character. I don't know why the bad guy had a katana, but honestly, I'm down for that. That sounds really sick. But I have to say, like, there was a moment where I just looked down at the timer and it was like 8 minutes in. And I was like, this movie has already made me uncomfortable like 3 times with some weird shit that it's saying about women. And then later, it's just like, yeah, you have cramps. that's the vampire detector. And then you see scenes where she's infiltrating, not infiltrating, she's trying to get to the vampires, to fucking the final boss or whatever. And she's grabbing her tummy and going with the stake at the same time. And it's just like, oh my God. Like, get it, guys. This is a woman. It's a woman. Right? Y'all like women, right? Joss Whedon. Ultimate feminist. But you know what? That tracks to my perception of them. Anyway, moving on. Something I want to see more of. I want to know what the fuck that sound effect was. There was a sound effect that played near the end like 3 or 4 times, and it was whenever a vampire showed up, and it sounded like teleportation. It sounded like, because you hear that noise and then there's vampires, and I'm just like, are they facing in like from like what is happening? Like, it sounds like a teleporter beam sound effect. I don't know what that was. I want to hear it again. I don't know what's happening for like half this movie. What's funny is that like, okay, so there's only one good dramatic scene, which is the scene with Buffy and Mary talking to each other and talking about like what is their job, their duty, and just making one joke. And that feels really nice because it feels like they're bonding. I like that scene. Besides from that scene, I would prefer this movie if it didn't have Buffy in it at all, and it was just a movie about like a bunch of like B-tier vampires and characters just making comedy jokes at each other and just pretending to die and then standing back again and dying again and doing that for a minute and just playing the violin and shit and just being extra. I would prefer that movie much more, honestly. They should create another Buffy spin-off and it just follows Spike and a bunch of vampires. And it's a comedy show. It's not drama at all. It's just comedy. And I think that would be a better spin-off than Angel, honestly. I just want to see the Maximilian dude looking motherfucker like vampire just doing expressions. Because everything he did, like he had crazy hair. Like fucking, I mean, I can't replicate it, but he had a lot of gel in it or some shit. And then he was like doing expressions. He had like eyeliner. And I don't know, man, he looked really fun. I really like that character. He was missing an arm for half the movie, which was funny. He died in a very funny manner. This movie was funny. I liked that. How does this compare to the show? The show is better because it's actually trying to have drama and characters and things that matter. I, however, would enjoy some episodes of the show even more if they were campier like this movie. So my takeaway from this movie is that I enjoyed parts of it more than I enjoyed parts of the show. And I think most of it was bad, except for one scene. But it was in a way that it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. So yeah, I had fun with it. And I suppose that's my final thing to say on this movie. I can't wait to not read the comment sections for this video. Like, oh my God. All right then. That was the Buffy movie. Man, actually that was really fun. Like I'm really enjoying getting through all these things that I feel like are legendary things that people talk about, you know? Because like since I started the show, people have been mentioning the mythical, terrible Buffy movie. And I'm just sitting here like, I want to know what that is like. And now I finally know. And I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, let us just, I'm just going away, man. I'm just going to go away. I'm tired. I have a slight headache. I'm hot. So I'm just going to go now. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this movie reaction. See you guys next time. Alright, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie 1992. If you would like to watch the first 2 episodes of Season 3 already, they should be up already over our Patreon. Check out the link in the description below, social media, all sorts of cool stuff that I do. See you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.